Hello everyone to the week 1 analysis of Bum's Draft League. I'm Phil and I guide you through what happened in week 1 of BDL. We'll also be going over what teams have been drafted a little bit for week 1, and going further we will keep a look on the kill leaderboard, what games there have been which are interesting. We will start with the highest division, which is Monarch, going all the way to Rex, Noble and Knight. If you're just here for your own division, timestamps will be in the video, so you can choose that, or you can just choose to watch it all. Let's take a look at Rivet's team first. As we can see, he has a very interesting Sun team with the very new Walking Wake, Slitherwing as a potential Sun abuser. We have Venusaur and Charizard. We have Licky as one to switch into opponent's fire type so he doesn't get swept by them. Overall, it's a very good team. Pikachu as a revenge killer is okay. I don't see it coming a lot, but it's the 1-2 point one, so you don't have to drop that. Otherwise, very solid team. Hatterene's here just to be a little safer against hazards. You have Tinglu, obviously, that can get spikes and stuff, rock pretty reliably. Crobat is speed out of sight of Sun, and you always have to prep for all the Sun ones. Overall, good Sun team. I think Riv will do very good this year. Then we have Parpy's team. Parpy being the first pick, I think, in the draft, obviously took Roaring Moon, which is very cool, very interesting, and he paired it with a lot of his type of mons. I can see him Milotic, Victini, first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can come to every game without much prep, and he can always give his opponent a run for his money. Then he has some nice reps and a strong Volt Switch mon here. His Fairy is a bit lackluster, but I don't think it really matters. I don't know why Gliger's here when you have Nidoking. I don't see what role Gliger's playing. I also don't see why Wigglytuff and the Whimsicott. These are fine. I can see the Drool coming into a lot of games, and Parpy will obviously be a contender for winning the league again. Then we have the Divinity. Divinity with a pretty, not stand, but he has a pretty good team in terms of fire, grass and water. Actually doesn't have a pretty good Dragon, Steel and Fairy. I don't like Clefairy. I know it's usable. I've seen a lot of people try it. I don't think it's that good. He has double unaware mons. He has Regieleki, which is pretty cool because opponents will need to bring the ground type against Regieleki. I think Urshifu is gonna be happy about that. Otherwise, against this team, the only thing I can really say is maybe bring your own strong Dracomon against him with fire type move, because against unaware mons you can spam Draco. Clefairy, not the best one, so maybe it might not come that much. And otherwise, Draco, Fire. Other than that, solid team. Necklace deck is a little bit for me. Then there's my team. Pretty weird overall. I hope they can do some shenanigans with Sora Kisui maybe. I do have bulk, or I have bulk, but that bulk is not recoverable because they don't have roosts or stuff like that. So once I get shipped down, it's very hard for me to keep my team alive. I have to play the more offensive game and take trades. I'm hitting you hard, you're hitting me hard. I'm surviving though, you don't, so I have to protect that. Then we have the Eastwick Espeon's Polos team. I don't really have anything to complain here. He has a very solid team, he has strong prio mons, he has good speed. His cores look actually very decent. There's Lapras. Lapras is a random low tier, you can't really blame him. Solid team. I can see Polo doing work with that. I like that Hoopa really much. AV is super nice. Then we have Nido's team. And I had to look at this team and I think, oh my god, what the fuck is going on here? I guess Arboliva is here for some grassy terrain because he has a lot of ground weaknesses. I guess Great Tusk can switch it into grounds pretty easily, but bringing defensive Great Tusk every game is not that desirable. Maybe get rid of Cofagrigus. I don't see what it's doing here. Maybe spread Will-O-Wisps. The team is actually kind of weird. Your speed is Noivern and Sucker Punch can Gambit. I guess Raikou with 110. Hazards are okay. Your removal is okay. It just seems weird. You don't have to change anything, obviously, but it looks like a Nido team, and I don't know if that's a positive. Then we have a Primal team, and the first thing that falls into my eyes is the amazing Fairy Steel Durancore. That's so nice to look at. Then he has speed with Talonflame, and Primal has like drafted it at 10 times at this point over like 7 drafts. Nidoqueen's pretty nice, pretty defensive. Quaquaqual can win games on his own. Then he get a more defensive water. Miltank's very fat, can do some stuff for him. And then he's a nice Mr. Rhyme. Deep's okay. Defog, not really existed. Like, okay, Talonflame, I guess. These two, and then he can spin with that. But I don't know if any of them want to bring Defog that much. And I don't see Mr. Rhyme coming to a lot of games, although I'm a fan of it. The mon has its limitations. Primal, you're just gonna cause nightmares with these three alone, and then Quaquaqual in the back. Then we have Vex's team. Vex, he has super strong mons. Like, I look at these mons and I don't think any of them are really that bad. Maybe Croclore. The rest of his team looks amazing. Thor, Excalibur, slow. But this entire team is dangerous. You have to prefer all the mons because, maybe not Crocodile, because I can see them all coming and they don't really share weaknesses. Maybe try to hazard stack him with like Stealth Rocks or Spikes because his Deep Foggers are Torn and Florges. Super solid team. Get rid of Crocodile for some removal options that you can bring more often, but it's obviously your choice. I don't have anything to say to that. Then we have Targo. He has a super nice electric terrain team. He's using Coco with Iron Jugglers and Iron Leaves. How good Iron Leaves will be in electric terrain, we will see. I believe in Targo, he can do it. Iron Jugglers I think is gonna be very strong with Hurricanes and Dark Pulses and stuff like that. I don't know where you have Sneasel, Hisui and Ferroseed. You have both types in Ferroseed. Sneasel Hisui is maybe one you think like, oh, that's neat. But at the same time, you also have these types. Maybe you just want to like, okay, I have these points over, let's just give me these random low tier things and have them for fun. Obviously, Pharisee can be like an electric switch in, but I think you have enough. Yeah, obviously it's your choice. But like, I don't see them contributing to the team very much. And in the other division, we're starting with Blitz. And Blitz's team is annoying, I'd have to say. It's very thick. I don't know why Colossal's here. Swallow is maybe here just for speed, but it's not a bad one, obviously. I don't know if you want this one. As a breaker, I guess. Double Ghost is rough. Maybe get rid of it. I can see you getting something else as a breaker. Then we have Beats team. Beats has Psychic Terrain. I don't know why. Beats, why do you have Psychic Terrain with Ice Shard Mamo and Mach Punch Breloom? We will never know. That seems like the anti-synergy. I guess for Mamo it's not that important because Mamo's Ice Shard is mostly trying to hit flying types that are fast and they're not really affected by Psychic Terrain anyway, so team's solid. He had his first pick Houndoom. Actually no, he had first pick Cypher, which he then evolved into Cleaver and got rid of Cypher for Houndoom. I don't know if that's the narration here. But yeah, overall, solid team. It's Beats' team. He will somehow make this work. Really, his team, super dope. Everything is bringable. Everything has its usage. They don't share weaknesses. They have switch-ins to each other. They have speed. They have hazards. Defogs here. Physical attackers. Special attackers. The bulks there. Overall, Relix is probably one of the best teams. And as good as a coach he is, he's obviously also a contender for the title once again. Then we have Bubba. Bubba has the second bye in the first week, and Bubba shows first pick Cinderace. Overall, just paired with really good, nice mons that are Bubba like a solid team. We will see how much Cinderace is actually gonna do with Libero. I can see her doing a lot. Melmetal is obviously here, punching stuff. Got a little bit stronger with punching gloves. Bubba, I believe in you. Then we have King Rock's team. First of all, here's the Mew. Mew, really, really annoying in draft. Probably can't find a set to beat every team there is. Overall, good mons. Steel, Dragon, Fairy, Fire, Water, Grass, although the fire is kinda meh. Rare rooms here. I don't blame him. I think that Mons could be nice. Does it have a ground move that is not affected by grassy terrain? Okay, after looking it up, it doesn't. So maybe that's a little bit of an anti-synergy. I think he just chose Rillaboom as its own. Grassy terrain doesn't really affect that much. Then we have Mare's team. I don't know Mare that much, but I have been told that this is a typical Mare team. It's pretty standard. Nothing too special. I'm a fan of the Swalot. Please bring it. Don't let it be watching from the bank every time. Or from the bench. Her team. First win, Kartana with her first sweep. A lot of standard mons that are pretty versatile. Then with Jay, overall he has 2 fairies and I'm not a fan of any of them. This one just doesn't do a lot and this one just is sitting there menacingly, I guess. Then he has Ursaluna and Kyurem. He has no real... I guess his speed is Jolteon. But you do have double electric, which I don't really get. This team's so weird. I agree these mons are okay on their own. But together, I don't think they work. I don't know, Jay. I feel like you have to look on the draft board again. Because this is probably not it. Then we have Grum's team. And I don't know how that happened or who let that happen. But Grum somehow got Garchomp and Goldengo and like very weird draft situation. He got both though, so that's annoying. And then he got pretty nice cores as well. Super good mons. What the? All of them are okay, and then I see these two, and like, nah. Grum, there's not a world where you bring either of them. Please get rid of them. Get something semi-bringable, because although I know you think like, oh, this is okay, I can bring them, or like, oh, that's just for fun. No, it's not fun. Please replace them. And then for our last team in Monarch, with Healy's team, there's also a little bit of anti-synergy here. You have Feeny here, which brings you the Misty Terrain, but then at the same time you have Heatran that wants to burn things. You have Zygarde 50 that wants to para things with Glare. The only thing you got with Feeny is the Hawlucha, but at the same time Hawlucha is not the best Pokemon itself. I can see it working for your Necrozma. Ordino wants the toxic things. Just see some anti-synergy. Might want to look into some trades. You have a bye week. Maybe look at the draft board again. And yeah, welcome back. Then we are here with the rec standings. First of all, we have Bulldog's team. Very obvious here. It's looking Shrilly Reception and the Excalibur, Dragon Dance. He has the defense boost. Very scary. Bulky team actually, with very offensive glass cannons, I feel like. These few mons that can switch into like very many attacks. And then you have your team of like 4 mons that are gonna exert a lot of pressure. But like, I think that team is a little hard to operate, or you can just go to the reception with Excalibur every week and it's never not gonna work. Then we have Glim here. Glim's team is also very interesting because he has the Slowking G into Weavile, which can also work. Gonna be very interested to see how that will be going for him. Other than that, you also have the Trick Room option with Ursaluna. You have Setup with Blastoise over here. You have still a lot of decent... Wait, these two, why are they here? I'm not a fan really of that. Like, I can see webs, but at the same time, do we really need web? Like, Weavile's faster than most stuff. If you want to go for webs, you want to bring spin, maybe replace them. Not my thing to say, but the rest of the team, very solid. Then we have Nobu's team, and oh, Nobu. I hate this one, I hate this one. Why do you have just region for the sake of region? You have Mousehold for some reason. This is here to spin, I guess. Oh, Nobu. What is your removal? Defog Clefty that wants to settle itself. Defog this. Spin this. Nobu, you do you. This is a Nobu team. I'm not a fan of it, and you will struggle if you keep the team like this. On to the next one. Brownie. Okay. Where do we start with this? You have Zorok. You have a lot of cool, interesting mons on their own. Now, do they work together? What's your speed? You don't really have speed. You have webs, but that's on Orbital, which is not the best. Also, okay, you have webs and spin, which I can see. Fairy Steel, Dragon. You have a lot of fairy weaknesses, I think. What is Zora gonna disguise as? You can't Moonblast because of this, because this is Moonblast, but this doesn't. You don't really have a way to disguise as these or this or this. In terms of similar things, maybe U-turn with this and this. I don't know, Brownie. This team looks weird, you don't have speed. I guess it's bulky. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this team. Brownie, you do you. I'm just gonna watch. But please try your best. And we have Nico's team. Nico's team actually super good, I feel like. Dire Claw, Poison, you can glare this, you have flames of this, you can heal yourself against some ground weak stuff. Actually, this is not even ground weak. Why does you have the same thing as Nido? Why do you have SF and Cophagricus? Not a fan of it. Other than that, you have an offensive water with Poyon, that's fine. Other than that, I think your team can work a lot by just having these mons, maybe this with Scald and this with Scald, just have everything statused and win the game. Like Paras, Poisons, Burns, it's gotta do something, right? And this just gives you advantage. Maybe get rid of this. I just don't think it's gonna do very much. Then we have Crimfinity, which has an interesting team. Not that bad though. Defini with Necrozma is not bad. Okay, Holucha, yeah. Oh, Holucha can set up. I don't care. Holucha's bad, okay. Porygon 2 as a nice switch. Porygon 2 can't be toxic, which is really nice because some ways, some teams just deal with Porygon 2. You're not really ground weak. I don't see a common weakness on like the first look. You have this tanky one. The ice cream cone is really funny as like just a blizzard spam thing. Type blow, eruption. You have Malamar. I'm fan of the team already. You have 2 wins. Go Crim. You can go far this season. I believe in you. Then we have Scribble. We see Mew. We see Masquerada, Steeler, Cephalon. Some certain dude in Monarch will behead you for drafting Flygon. I don't think it's that bad. Nidoqueen is okay. These 4 are kind of meh. This is tanky, this is speedy, Mabostiff is not gonna do as much as you'd like, and I don't know why you need Mabostiff if you have Masquerada as a dark type. Maybe get rid of Mabostiff for something useful. You do need a Defog or Spinner very badly. Currently your removal is Mew, which is always bad. And Defog Flygon. Yeah, maybe get rid of Mabostiff for some removal, please. Doesn't even have to be good, just needs to be semi-bringable. Then we have G-Fry. G-Fry has the Roaring Moon, which is very cool. But why do we have Bombardier? Bombardier, actually fake Antimon. Not gonna do anything. Fairy Saturnine, really nice actually. Your Grass. Are you weak to something? Ice, maybe? Kinda ice weak, huh? Maybe be careful with that. What's your removal? Does this have defog? I guess this one. Your removal is not the greatest, G-Fry. Other than that, I think the team's okay. Just be careful of ice types. Then we have King Darius' team. Kinda solid. I can see that work. This is not as dumb as I thought it would be, because this lets your opponent bring the ground type, but Rotom's like, okay, switch your ground type into me. I can volt switch every time and then just click Hydro if it decides to stay in. This is very bulky. This is kinda bulky setup. This can break. This gives you reps for 1 point or something. I don't think you need that. I can see it work because this can headlong rush and it does not get halved because of grassy terrain. Do you like the speed? Actually, no, you have Crow and Regieleki. Yeah, I'm tripping. Good team, King Darius, actually. Do you have hazards? This has hazards 1, 2, I guess 3. Fine enough. This or this can always bring Starfox, I feel like. Jamming Steam, I have been drafting it. Just standard Sun Walking Wake, Sun Lilligant Hisui, also as a Tinglu. Then a Steel that maybe can live a fire attack in Sun. This little thing has some speed outside of Sun. His team is frail, so he has to go ballin' or ballin' his eyes out, I guess. Snorlax is here. Jamming will be fucking if we ball anyway. We'll see how well he can handle the Sun thing. Then we have Gindo's team, and why is the next deck? I like these 3 as a core actually. This is not gonna do you any good, I feel like. This is okay. This is a little bit passive, but I don't think it's bad. I actually like Rotom. This is good. And I think this is good. Not a lot to say. What's a removal? Actually, Rotom can bring removal every game. Gindof, standard team. I don't know. Maybe get rid of Nickel Stack. Are you Ghost Weak? Not really. You have Ember Palm and Incineroar. Get rid of Nickel Stack, please. Then we have Shade's team. It's similar to the Electric Terrain team we've seen before. Coco, but instead of Jugglers, he has Moth and Iron Leaves instead of... what was it? Yeah, Iron Jugglers. Regirock, oh, it's only 3 points. Yeah, Shaded, there's a reason it's only 3 points. I'd call Tal would say plagiarism. I think you can pilot some wins Shaded, but be careful, because Taro's lawyers might be coming for your ass with this team. Then we have JD with the week 1 bye. This is pretty standard. Then we have a good Dragon. This team's lacking speed. Actually, he has speed. There's some setup thing, some support. Nothing, not a lot to say right now. What's a removal? This? No, this doesn't have it. This? Actually, only really Deciduous. If Defog Landos, you will get a pass. We'll see how you do in the season. JD, I believe in you. You got this. Then we have Terra. Terra's team, a lot of standard mons with good abilities, good movesets, and not a lot I can say about it. That's solid. You won your first game. Terra, keep going. You can do this. Then we have Cyber's team, which looks very unorthodox, but that is just Cyber. You have Double Steel, which I don't know why, but I guess it works. You have Speed with Noivern. This, I don't know what this Sneasel does. Darkspawn is actually has a weird good matchup into some high tier mons, which is actually kind of funny. Normal Diancie, pretty bulky. I can see it doing work. I'm not a fan of Clevy, but Clevy works for this team. And you also got this Cinace. What's the removal option? Defog on this, and I guess this. Yeah, I don't know if you want to bank on Cinace having core change every game, Cyber. Maybe get rid of Sneasel for some removal. Then you have Zero's team. Double terrain. Okay, that's interesting. I guess it's okay. This really likes the grassy terrain. This likes the grassy terrain. There's some stuff that doesn't like a psychic terrain though, like this can't Mug Punch. You get strong up psychic against this. Korv doesn't really care. The team itself is okay, maybe lacks some speed, so you're kind of forced on Grassy Glide, Rillaboom, or some Scarfers every game. Hazards, I think, are okay. Rocks, whatever this has, Spikes and T-Spikes probably. It's hard defining win con in this team. It's bulky though, so maybe you're just like, okay, let's try to outstall the opponent and then have this clean. Not sure yet, Zeros. You'll find a way. And then we have the third team that's gonna utilize Snow. And it's Critic. Critic with the Arctozolt and the Alolan Wolf, Alolan Ninetales. And you also have this thing. Why though? And you have your rocks that they can't get rid of, and you have speed, and this hits hard, and this gets rid of. Yeah, you miss some certain types, but I guess it works because most of the time it's get Snow, have this hit strong Bolt Beaks, or get your Stealth Rocks up and Spikes and T-Spikes maybe, and don't let them remove it, so you just chip, and then Larias can punch a hole in their team. Your win con every week seems to be, I don't know, whatever you feel like. So, since this video is a little old, we had a replacement happening in Rex, and Sacred took over a team from Super Person that dropped, and he actually has a team of Gotchom, Victini, Scizor, Suicune, Hooper, Slitherwing, Weezing, Gala, Talonflame, and then Servine, and for whatever reason, Lickitung. I think the Fairy Ring Steel is pretty good. Firewall. Servine is serviceable actually. Like, it's not bad. It can work. I don't see Lickitung coming to a game actually. I guess it's that random one pointer, but if you just need a fat mon, maybe get something else. Does it have rocks? I'm not really sure. Besides that, Pressure and Garchomp for hazards, Slitherwing Spike or T-Spike on Weezing, but besides that there's only Staffrock here and maybe Lickitung. But besides that, very top heavy team, where we will see like these most of the time. Servine is serviceable, and I don't see Lickitung coming. Maybe like one game where he has a bad Ghost matchup, but that's basically it. Then here we are at the Noble teams, starting with Austin. First view, pretty good. Shuckle as the hazard mon, as like staff and like webs and staff rocks, but everything, Shuckle's everything. It's pretty good. Can be like a little predictable if you're just starting with it. Avalakazoo is actually not that good. It falls to like every special attack, has a lot of weaknesses. Without Terror, it has just not that many useful things to do. I guess it has like good ice attack, but it's super slow. I guess you have something to outspeed with this and this, but this Esparfra is super overpriced in my opinion. He will probably win some games in this division with it, but besides that, yeah, it's actually really lacking in speed. I think this is the fastest. Okay, this doesn't count because you don't speed prep for Regieleki. Maybe Sneasel is probably the fastest here, which is kinda sad. So he will be needing a lot of webs actually, and if you bring Shuckle, just lead with it, it's kind of annoying. Next up we have Real Opus, and he has Tinglu, the Feuerbock, Jirachi, and I see, he has a double Serene Race core and a Ditto. This is actually really annoying, I feel like, for everyone to prep against. He has double grass for some reason. I guess this is needed for speed, and Jolteon was taken or something maybe. But he has this also for speed. And this is super weird. You have double fire, you have double grass. I guess Tinglu works. Your speed is okay. You have double steel? You have a lot of shared types, which I don't know if you want. The Water Tauros, which is okay because of Intimidate if you like. And I guess you're just trying to do a Serene Grace spam and you don't want to get set up with the Ditto. First of all, go to team, because I see an Oricorio, I see a low kicks. Dragon, Fairy, Steel's Tinkaton, which is not bad, maybe a little overpriced, but definitely does work. Salazzle is gonna be annoying for a lot of opponents. You have speed, you actually have the grassy terrain, and your ground type doesn't use Earthquake that much. That's actually a pretty big plus. I respect that. You also cover the ground weaknesses for like Tinkaton and Salt Boy, which is pretty nice because Salt Boy has extra recovery and the Earthquakes are not gonna hit that hard. Salazzle, I feel like, still will die to any Earthquake, but you have Slowking, which doesn't really care about Earthquake. And yeah, overall, pretty good team. It's not something you'd normally see, but I can see the synergy. Then we have Mary, which has a lot of good offensive Pokemons. They're all are pretty nice. Darmgy brings a lot of like prep for your opponent that they have to do just because of it. Latias, super good. Tangrowth, this is super bulky. And then you have another like fire. Actually, are you fire weak? This 1, 2, 3. Actually, you're not fire weak at all. Only problem here is I don't know why you chose these two. I think Rebombi can either Rebombi goes, and you'll just keep Darkspawn. Or Fortress goes for a better steel type. Besides that, I feel the team is okay. Mandibuss may be a little too defensive for the likes of it, but I don't. Maybe some people don't. You cannot really make use of that. This I feel like is super bait because it just gets toxic. Yes, you can rest, but it's also set up fodder. It's super passive. It doesn't really do a lot. And I feel like this could be replaced as well. If this is just your, okay, want some normal type for ghost switches, you have Mandibuss, which is enough. Actually, not that top heavy. Just get rid of like one of these, maybe this one. I feel like they don't really serve a purpose in this team. Next on, rest team. Okay, first of all, what I can see, you have Goldango, and you... I guess you have the hazard one. Let me throw up all the hazards on your field, but besides that, you don't have, like, if they set up hazards on your side, your only way of getting rid of them is like, okay, you can switch Hatterene into them, but it's not a solution for like when you have to switch it into like the hazard mon. Like toxic spike users are mostly poison type, which Hatterene doesn't want to come into. There's a lot of steel types with like rocks and spikes now that Hatterene does not want to switch into. And besides that, you would only have defog, so maybe get like a spinner, making Glamora the only hazard mon with like setting up hazards. Okay, Rook can have rocks, okay, this can have reps, okay, but this is your removal to keep your hazards. It can't do everything, okay? Like either you get up all the hazards or you keep it away with them, but not all at the same time, Res. I feel like this can be improved upon. Also, your speed is a little lacking because this is your fastest, and then this, and 123 to 100, and then a lot of like 90s and 80s. Feels rough. Maybe make some changes in that regard. Then we have JTs. I don't know what's going on here. You have Mew. Okay, JT, why do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rock types? And the only one using Sandstorm, like the Sandstorm, is Lycanroc Midday. What's the point here? Why you have so many rock types and Bay and Bombardier, which is part rock because of the ability? Am I missing something? Do you think rock moves are getting stronger in Sandstorm because they're only getting boosted by Sandforce? What's the plan here? Why do you have so many rock types? JTs, please change that. What am I looking at? Now going to Baguette. There's maybe the one that wanted the Sandstorm. And we have the Sucker Punch Golem, of course. We also have another one that maybe wanted the Weather. And another one that likes Weather but doesn't have to. Then we have some reps. This Stealth Rock, Spike, Toxic Spike. This works, like with the priority. Maybe this can't Ice Shot and this can't Sucker Punch anymore. Besides that, Excadrill without Sand is a little rough. Vino without Sun is a little rough because these mons, although they can work without the weather, they're basically tiered like with weather in mind, so overpaying a little bit. So maybe want to change that. Besides that, does Zorok have some good targets to turn into? Maybe Vino I can see. Besides that, maybe a U-turn from this. I mean, the team is okay. It's just this and this is a little overpraised with the weather, without the weather, respectively. Then we have Buffy's team, and the first thing I see, very solid Dragon Fairy Steel Core. Then very solid Fire Grass Water Core. We have some speed with Swallow, strong break of Pangoro, Heliolisk Gaseer, then Hatchrim as like the low point thing that can magic bond stuff. Don't have a lot to say to it. It's a super solid team. This is a super solid draft. I'm impressed. Good job. Then we have Fancify with a Sun team, and they have Torkoal, Walking Wake, and this can use it, this can use it. Maybe get rid of one of these, because you don't need both of them. Are you really missing anything? Yeah, the stats are so similar as well. Get rid of Speak to Wibble or Skull Villain, please. Besides that, speed, it's not really your thing, but that is a little different with the Sun team, obviously. Your hazard's okay, you got some rocks, you got some spin, some removal. Actually, I think Grimmsnarl is pretty nice with parting shot into Torkoal now, so Torkoal lives a little bit longer. Then we have Don Platinum, who has a really nice electric terrain team. I like the combination of these three, although we'll have to see how good Iron Leaves will be in draft. Then we have Swampert as electric immunity. These are super solid mons overall. And then you have like that random 1 point Frogadier or whatever points Frogadier is. I think it relies on... Actually, it doesn't even rely on having the electric terrain up. Just be careful that if there's an electric type like grass move that can kill the Swampert easily, doesn't run your team. But besides that, it's pretty nice. Is there anything about sleep? Not really. Maybe just yawn, that you can't yawn with this, but it's whatever. We have Rogue Rotom. And what can we see here? We have a Lilligant Hisui with no sun, so it will be Hustle probably most of the week, so that's a little scary. We have Orbital here for webs. No, Orbital is not the best mon. Some Fire Weak mons, but you have a Heatran and you have Slope Bro, so it doesn't really matter. Besides that, you don't have a dragon, which is okay, you don't need to. Double grass though, and I don't know why, like it feels like they do similar things. Like this is not really a breaker. Kartana can be a breaker, and Kartana can clean up, this can clean up. So maybe get rid of the Lilligant Hisui. I feel like if you just want a fighting type, you can find something else, something better, with like less points. Quillfish Hisui is your dark type, which is okay. You're not really weak to fairies. Ground types, you have 2 immunities, and you have to... Actually, this is the ground immunity then, and you have this. Maybe get rid of Lilligant Hisui. That's the only really thing I like to see happening here. Then we have Drinlet and the Doomtown Doom Desire, and sadly Doom Desire is not in Gen 9 anymore, which is super sad, but the team overall super solid. Dragon Steel Fairy, Fire Water. Is this grass? It is. Then you have a T-Tar, which I don't know why. Like, okay, don't get me wrong, T-Tar is a cool Pokemon. I don't think you want it in this team, actually. Rotom Frost is okay, whatever. I don't know if Blizzard is actually even less accurate than Sandstorm. You have double poison, which I don't know why really. You have the double prankster, which I don't know why really. This one is a little bait, but I can see you just want to try it. It's okay. Scarf is kinda rough, to be honest. Rotom Frostburn gets hurt. Maybe just get rid of like these 3 and get a good... Actually can't get rid of all the 3, but get rid of 2 of these 3 and get a good Scarfed mon. That's the only thing I'd say. Yeah, this only has 60, it's a little slow for a Scarfer. Then you have the Staraptors, and damn, Z50, Gren, Ferrothorn, Terrakion, Hooper. Like this hits hard. And then you have the support mons with the Rotom, the Weezing, the Silvally. This is a little setup, but this is a little setup to bait, I think. But you're like top 5 mons, and then like the other 3 support mons are so good. I don't really care about these last 2, and I think you can win with these alone, like all of your games. This is a super good team. No wonder you already have 2 5-0s in your standings already. Keep going, man. This is super solid. Then we have JB, and the first critique point is that you have grassy terrain with a ground one that wants to use Earthquake. I mean, yeah, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 mons that don't want to get Earthquaked or like appreciate the lower damage of Earthquake. But oh, Lando's getting nerfed so hard by it, man. Why are you doing that? And your speed is super bad as well. JB, your fastest one is 111. And then it's going straight on to 91. This is not it, JB. You have to change something here. This doesn't even hit the ground. This is solid as a core. This is okay. Please bring some like head smash during that stuff. Lando is so sad by the appearance of grassy terrain on this team. And maybe get rid of Mousehold. Like, if you don't bring the is it lucky dice? No, not lucky dice, but like the Scopelands, then you're just getting hit by helmet. And if you don't bring the Scopelands, if you do bring like pets, then you're not getting the 10 hits. So Mousehold's not really good in draft. Maybe get rid of Morsel too. You have Silverstone's team, and damn. You have the Rowing Moon, you have the Zapdos, you have you have so many good ones. What the fuck? You have the Dunsparce, which I feel like is super good for like the points it is. You have this Toadscrew, which is super good. Typhlosion, okay, it's Typhlosion. We don't really care about Typhlosion here. You have, why do you have Claydol? Toadscrew is just a better Claydol, but go off King, and then you have the Cloth. You know you're a fan of Cloth, you can keep it there. Maybe get rid of Claydol. Like, why? I guess a Spinner, but you have Spin with this, and you have Defog with this, and one of these two will always come, I feel like. And if you don't want to, your team is not really Stealth Rock weak. Like, okay, Zapdos can reboot, and the Typhlosion can, but get rid of this and bring him, like, draft him one that is bringable, maybe. Then we have Series Team, and it's super obvious what they're trying to do. It's just Trick Room with Ursaluna, which doesn't work because Trick Room is inherently flawed, because Trick Room technically is 5 turns. Setting up Trick Room with this one, you have 4 turns. Switching Trick Room, you have 3 turns left. So you now have 3 turns to do something with Ursaluna. Problem is 3 turns enough? Like, so it won't really work because you lack a lot of speed, or like general speed, and your threat is obviously Ursaluna. Like, Hydreigon will win you more games probably because your opponent will over prep for Trick Room. So you have only 2 games played, and Ursaluna only has 3 kills. Try to stray a little bit further away from like the Trick Room only and do something, I don't know. But please, there has to be a more game plan than Trick Room Ursaluna. Like, Hydreigon has to come more, will do more. I don't see this working a lot. Like, okay, limit, start with it, get hazards up, but there has to be more to your team than that. That's how I feel like it. Then we have Christie's team. You have the Gliscor Volcanion combo, which I like a lot actually. Ice moves, Volcanion eats, water moves on Gliscor, Volcanion eats, Volcanion doesn't want to get toxic, Gliscor eats, Volcanion doesn't want to get Earthquake, Gliscor eats. This combo alone is super good. This and this one is super good. This is super good. It's maybe hard for you to actually make use of Zoroark effectively. And you have Ursaring. Why do you have Ursaring? Christy, I know you won ISL Pearl Terra with Ursaring. That's generally not good. Please get rid of the Ursaring. Then we have Cran's team, and Cran... Oh, Cran, why do you have the whole Lucher? And Cran, why do you have Amoonguss with the fairy terrain? Let Amoonguss sport, Cran. Why are you doing this to Amoonguss? You have double grass, and grass is just not good offensively, sadly. Hazard removal. You only have Defog, I think, on this. And maybe Holucha, but if you bring Defog on Holucha, it's terrible. You've double sad steel types. And this is your dragon? Cran, there has to be some changes here. Also, you have Victini and Reuniclus. Like, they share a type. They can be prepped for together. Cran. Please change something here. Aye, man. Aye, man. And here we are with the last team. And once again, why do I see such a weird combination of mons? We have another Exodus without sand. So Exodus is just crying this season. Besides that, This is okay. This is like the cores. You do have a fire type actually. Actually, this core looks also good. You have Staraptor, which is nice. You have also Wordier, so I think your win con can be soften up the enemy team with the Salazzle, the Staraptor, and the Iron Hands, and then maybe get a sweep with Excalibur or Meowscarada can clean up. Froggerman, your team. You have Electric Terrain with the Iron Moth, okay. Then you have Emperor. Oh, why do you have Emperor? You have double water, double electric, triple electric actually. Oh, I see your problem. You don't have a ground type. And I tell you right now that you have to change to a ground type. Get rid of Emperors, or like get rid of a few things, but you have to get a ground type in electric terrain. You don't switch into electrical legs on your own. I don't care if these are potential immunities. You don't survive a draft league without a ground type. Then we have Autumn's team and Bronzong for Relegator. Why are they here? I don't know if envy form is a staple. Speed is there, but it's a little underwhelming and lower tier picks. You know how I feel about these two. You have this, which is pretty good, and it's ice. You have Heatran, so there's that. Stats wise, please play around Zygarde a little bit more, because you have so much ice switch-ins, like holy moly. It's your hazard game, you have rocks, which is okay, and you have some spikes. But what's your removal? Actually, what is your removal? Aurum, where's your removal? Why is Fundy your removal? Please get some removal. What, like, why? Then we have EA Grill with the Ursaluna team. You have Iron Leads. I'm not a fan of it without electric terrain, really. You have Poltergeist. You have the Ice Cream Cone, which is kind of funny. Your Rockers are a little weird, I guess, because these two actually don't have them. So your Rockers and Fernape, and I'm not sure if Iron Fawns has them. Let me check. It does have them, but these two as Rockers as your offensive monsters kind of maybe a little. Your defog is fine with these two, but like double fly, I don't know if you need double flying, so maybe get rid of Manabus for a different dark type. Besides that, it's okay, I guess. It's like week 2, you've played one game, you will find your groove, but the team is okay. Maybe get a trick room option, so you just have it, you know? Like, you don't need to bring it, but so your enemy or like your opponent has to prep for trick room. Then we have Kyle Goat's team, and yo, that's pretty nice actually. You have double steel, so this double water. Actually, this is a team where you actually want Napoleon, so I'm kind of impressed that you took it here, because it's actually pretty fitting. You have some speed, you have some bulk here, you have priority, you have some form of setup, I guess. Not really setup. The only thing I can really like say anything negative about is your fairy, because Akramie is not really doing anything. Doesn't matter how hard you believe in it. Besides that, Hazard's game strong. What's the removal? Defog here. Actually, I don't know if this has defog. Actually, your removal is okay. You have enough defog to somehow work with that. But maybe get a more decent fairy of Akirami. You could get wrecked by dragons, maybe if they drop Dragos on you. Then we have a Cloud team, which also has some frail offense, I'd say. But at the same time, you have some bulky mons to switch into, which is really nice. This is a fake mon, they don't do anything. Please get rid of them and get some ones that actually do something. Besides that, the team is pretty standard, nothing too special. Pretty solid actually. Nothing I can really say anything bad about. Then we have Ritz Crackers, and oh god, why does this look so similar to a previous team? Actually, quite a lot of speed. You do have hazards. This is not a bad team. The only thing maybe that someone can say, is this one. You could maybe get rid of the ice phase in the little Cuddlebuck here to get a better steal, but that's the only thing I'd say. If you want to work with it, with Fortress, you can definitely do that. But overall, the team's pretty good. I don't have anything negative to say besides that. And we have Naive, which took over team and their new Sun team. And I don't like the double fire here, besides, okay, I don't see Torkoal as a fire type. Torkoal is the sunset, okay? Maybe get rid of one of these, because one of these will break your team if you plan to use your Sun to sweep with Venusaur. Vaporeon is okay because Vaporeon's not gonna actually try to do a lot of damage with like the water attacks. It's just trying to like toxic and scald burn fish, like something like that. Noivern actually has stronger flamethrowers, which is super fine. You have a steel type that it's still weak to sun technically, but like with heat proof, it lowers the damage a little bit. And I'd say get rid of Darm because you want to break with it. It doesn't really enjoy if actually your team doesn't really enjoy if someone brings rocks against you. Because this would like to have boots, this, and this, which is a little too much. So maybe get rid of the Darm for actually just something that can fit your team. Maybe get a Spiker or anything, but I think just get rid of Dom. Then we have Cloudy Days, and oh, this is interesting. Top half, actually, all of these are pretty okay. Your water types are kinda defensive. Like you can obviously bring this offensive, but I don't like if you want to bring both of them. Slurpuff is okay. Cute little fairy. Why do you have Celio? What's the point of Celio? You have double water and a steel type already. What's Celio for? Actually, if you actually draft one, if you're just a fan of it, okay. But if you just think, okay, Celio fits here, I don't see it ever coming. You basically have a 9-1 squad. Maybe there's something in 1 point they have to like look out for. Maybe get like a very cheap spinner for that 1 or 2 point. I have no idea. It's Celio. It should be 1 point. Get a spinner maybe. So if you want to have webs, you don't defog your own webs away. That's only thing I could tell you here. Then we have Beast, and why do you have triple psychic? You also have 2 evolutions, which is kind of funny. You have also double ice. Okay, wait, you have like triple fighting weakness with triple. You have triple fighting weakness, triple psychic types, and a ghost type. You don't have a fire type, don't have a water type. Okay, you don't need a fire, but you don't have a water. You have double ice. This is so weird. I'd say change something, but it's working apparently right now. It shouldn't be working, but it somehow does. I mean, I'd say change something, but I guess never change a running system. You get run by fairies actually, no? Like 1, 2, not resisting, 3. Do you even have you don't even have a single fairy resist. Maybe change that, or something with a strong fairy will just moonblast the heck out of you. Then we have Fluffy's Angry, which is very new to draft, I think. The top ones are actually all okay. I kind of have a problem with these two. They're not really that... Ariados is maybe bringable. I don't see it doing a lot though, because everyone will okay, oh, it's the toxic spikes and the webs and stuff, and I like the low tier Butterfree, but I don't think you're there yet to a point where you can pull it off. So maybe get something. I just can't keep it. Have fun. Try to get some wins in your first season. You have a pretty good, nice core, but you have double dragon, and they're both weak to ice, and your steel is also weak to ice. So and your other steel is also weak to ice. Oh, please actually get a actually get a fairy type. Yeah, maybe get rid of something for a fairy type, or maybe like a dragon with like Draco, or like dragon type and fire type attack can run your team pretty wild. So be careful of that. And with Claw, they have Mew. Not a lot I can say here. They have some rock setter. The removal is okay with like Rodom, you can always bring removal. Actually the team is super solid. I think that's one of the best we've seen yet, and they show it. Rank 1 conf right now. I'd say keep it. Nothing to say about it. Then we have the Georgia Grumpig from RNSA. It's a little weird. Like I can see the grassy terrain idea with like the Aegislash and this the little Glimora. Glimora is gonna die to like every earthquake anyway though. Aegislash actually enjoys it, so that's fine. I feel like Cerulean also enjoys it for like bulk up sets. Luxray, oh cool, whatever. Maybe get rid of Torterra for a special ground type, and this team isn't that bad then. Okay, the loser's not gonna do anything, so gonna be careful of that. Luxray is maybe coming to like one game. The rest of the team is like good enough as it is. Honchcrow doesn't really have a place to be here when there's Hydreigon, so maybe get another flying type if you want like that Brave Bird or Hurricane offense. I really like these mons though, so build around that and you can maybe think about replacing Luxray, Honchcrow, Torterra and Veluza to something more worth preppable, I think. Big Money Man's team. You have some cool mons. I'm not a fan of this one, but I can see why it's working. I guess this is kind of working, since you have maybe a Shadow Ball weakness, but you have this at the same time. You have Double Dark. Actually, the resistances and weaknesses kind of work for themselves. Since this is a water immunity, they can switch in this. They're both ghosts, but these and this can all switch in. They're both darks, but you have here close combat switch in, and here and here and here. Knock off, easy switch in, easy switch in, easy switch in. Maybe get rid of the Ludicolo. I don't see what it's doing. Maybe get just a grass. But if you're doing enough prep, and I think you have to predict a lot of in your games, which could be a little 50-50 inducing. But if you want to do that, keep going. Then we have DJ. What can I say? Very thick team, very slow team, except like Weavile. So webs will have to come a lot, I feel like. Everluckis, I already said it once, I don't want to say it again. Maybe get rid of it, get something else, or just keep. It's a low tier thing. The close combat weakness is so weak, and it doesn't have any special defense, so it just falls over to like any grass type attack or like 2 special attacks. Does Silvally have to come for certain types here? Not really Gastrodon. Maybe as an offensive grass, but besides that you have the types covered mostly. Anything double, not really. Teams is okay. Oh, actually no, you have webs with the spin. Yeah, play with webs and spin, be careful of speed, bring the correct Silvally every week, and then you will be fine. Then you have Crunch. Once again, Goldango. We do see hazards. We do see. Actually, switching for Goldango is pretty good. There's actually not a single one I'd say this is generally bad here. What's your steal? Oh, your steal only being Escavalier could. Actually, it's Goldango. And it's a second steal, it's actually not that bad. Okay, the only thing that's really bad here, Crunch, is your speed. Speed tilt doesn't exist, but you don't have webs or anything. Where's your speed, my guy? Like, okay, this dances. You can scarf this very easily. And this also, but man, where's your speed, Crunch? Besides that, the team is pretty solid, but damn, is it slow. Then we have Escape, who has a Sun team. Oh no, okay, they have Sun. I've spoken too soon. they have Sun. Maybe get rid of Dondozo. Actually, you don't have to if you want to like as a water type. But walking wake has like ideal resistances for like water and fire attacks, so you don't really need it on. Um, the rest of the team is actually pretty decent. Do you have to change something? Not really. It's a Sun team, so speak to is a fake. This is some removal. You have double fighting. Is the psychic problem? Not really. You have Bishop. Actually, the team is super good. It's a solid Sun team. The only thing that would have been better, obviously, the Nine Tails is Torkoal. And as the last team, we have J-Rife and J-Rife. There's some certain. Okay, please drop his buffer. It's way too expensive. If you want to use it, okay, but then maybe get rid of Yuxi. Besides that, Mausol, same problem as I said earlier. Doesn't work in draft. Togedemaru, I know you love that thing, but Togedemaru will have a rough time if we have Regieleki on the same team, because what Togedemaru struggles with is ground types, and Regieleki will make your opponent bring their ground type every week. So maybe drop Regieleki and Maushold. And this maybe get a ground type and something else that is just good for the team, I guess. Like this has to change. Like drop these two, maybe this even get a better ground type. Maybe if you want to keep Sandslash, this is totally fine. But if you want to bring Togedemaru, Regieleki has to go. This is totally overpriced. And if you want to keep that, get rid of Yuxi, because the types are just they clash. Double psychic with like these two, I don't feel like it's super good. But yeah, these were the power rankings. I'm sorry that they were a little late. I will try to make weekly updates on rankings every Thursday, so I hope to see you there. And good luck for the season, everyone. And if you're just a spectator, thank you for watching.